Late one night in a hospital corridor, 8-year-old Lila sat on the floor drawing a red heart in her sketch pad. She was waiting for her mother, a janitor working the night shift, and tried to spread cheer with her crayons. But as Dr. Miller, the senior cardiologist, hurried past, he nearly stumbled over the little black girl. "You can't be here!" he barked, scowling as her drawing scattered across the floor. Lila's face flushed with shame as the doctor snatched up one heart drawing and crumpled it in his fist. "This is a hospital, not a playroom," he snapped before striding off. Camila, a young nurse intern, rushed to Lila's side to help gather the strewn papers. "Are you okay?" she asked softly, placing the wrinkled heart drawing back into Lila's trembling hands. Lila didn't speak, only nodded and cast her eyes downward, tears clinging to her lashes. From a nearby ICU room, 54-year-old William Cross watched the scene through the glass wall. The wealthy patient had been bedridden for weeks with a heart ailment no doctor could cure. Seeing the doctor dismiss the child so harshly gave William a twinge of anger and pity, fleeting feelings that faded as another wave of pain from his failing heart made him shut his eyes. None of them realized that this quiet little girl had something extraordinary within her that would soon touch all their hearts. Sometimes the smallest voice holds the greatest power. Subscribe to see hope unfold. By morning, William Cross had sunk deeper into despair. 10 years earlier, he had lost his beloved wife, Margaret, to a mysterious heart condition no doctor could explain. Now he was 54, facing the same fate and convinced that all his wealth and all the experts were powerless to save him. Nurse Camilla checked his vitals and offered a gentle smile. "Your heart rate is a bit better today, sir," she said gently. William merely grunted, hollow-eyed. "It won't last," he muttered. "Hope can't change what's coming." Camilla's heart sank at his defeat. With no family by his side and no faith in anything beyond cold facts, William had all but given up. Outside William's room, Camilla's thoughts drifted to the little girl from the night before. Lila's innocent face and the crumpled heart drawing lingered in her mind. Later that day, Camilla spoke with Lila's mother, Marcia, who was mopping the hallway. She learned Lila was nonverbal due to autism, but the girl expressed care through her art and an uncanny empathy. The more Camilla heard, the more she wondered, could Lila's quiet compassion be what William needed? It sounded far-fetched, even naive. Doubt gnawed at Camilla, but with William's condition worsening and conventional treatments failing, she realized they had nothing to lose. A glimmer of hope, however unconventional, was better than watching William slip away without trying. That evening, Camilla decided to act. She seized a moment when Dr. Miller was away and quietly brought Lila into William's ICU room. William was awake, pale and exhausted, when the nurse nervously introduced the child. "This is Lila," Camilla said softly. "She wanted to visit you." William frowned in confusion at the small girl. He looked at the sketch pad in Lila's arms and the way she looked at him with genuine concern. Lila timidly approached the bed and held out a drawing she'd made for him, a crayon drawing of him in a hospital bed with a little girl offering a red heart, under which she'd written HOPE. William took the paper with trembling hands. "You drew this for me?" he asked hoarsely. Lila nodded, then gently placed her small hand over William's. A calm warmth spread through him at her touch. Camilla glanced at the heart monitor and saw its jagged lines easing into a steadier rhythm, as if Lila's presence was literally calming his heart. For the first time in ages, William felt truly seen and comforted. A weak smile crept onto his face. "If you can really heal me, I'll pay you $1 million, he whispered. Lila only squeezed William's hand, uninterested in any reward. William let out a faint, shaky chuckle, the first real laugh Camilla had heard from him. But before anyone could say more, the door burst open. Dr. Miller had returned and stood, fuming. "What is the meaning of this?" he snapped. Camilla jumped in fright. She tried to explain, but Dr. Miller cut her off. "This is against protocol. Get that child out now," he barked. Lila flinched at the anger in his voice. William's heart monitor began beeping rapidly as he grew upset. "Please, let her stay," he begged weakly, but his words were lost in the commotion. Camilla had no choice but to usher Lila out as the girl's eyes brimmed with tears. In the hallway, Dr. Miller scolded Camilla as Lila wept quietly in her mother's arms. Alone in his room, William felt a crushing emptiness. He clutched Lila's drawing to his chest, pain in his eyes. When Camilla returned, he broke down in tears. "For a moment, I didn't feel alone," he choked out. I don't want to die." Camilla gripped his hand, her own eyes wet. "Hold on, William," she whispered. After midnight, William's heart gave out and he flatlined. The staff performed CPR and revived him, but barely. Dr. Miller warned it was only a matter of time. Shaken but determined, Camilla refused to let this be the end. In a last-ditch effort, she phoned Marcia and pleaded for help. Minutes later, Marcia and Lila arrived at the hospital. Lila was still in her pajamas, but her eyes shone with resolve. Camilla hurried them down the corridor toward William's room. As monitors blipped faintly in the dim room, Camilla gently squeezed William's shoulder and whispered, "Hold on. She's coming." Do you believe in the healing power of kindness? Share your thoughts in the comments. Camilla ushered Lila into William's dimly lit room. William lay deathly still, monitors beeping faintly. Lila climbed onto a stool beside the bed and wrapped her small hand around William's limp one. His eyes remained closed, but a tear escaped down his cheek as if some part of him sensed her presence. "Lila's here," Camilla whispered. "She came back for you." The child leaned in close. Summoning every bit of courage, Lila pressed her hand gently over William's heart and whispered one trembling word, "Live." Deep in his unconsciousness, that single word echoed like a beam of light in the darkness, pulling him back from the brink. William's eyelids fluttered. The effect of that single word was immediate. His heart rhythm steadied on the monitor, and he drew a deeper breath. Slowly, William's eyes opened, his gaze focused on the little girl by his side. He knew that voice hadn't been a dream. Through his haze, he managed a weak smile and squeezed Lila's hand. Moments later, Dr. Miller rushed in, expecting the worst, only to freeze in astonishment. William was awake and stable, and Lila was at his side. The doctor could hardly believe the monitor readings. "What in the world?" he murmured, checking William's pulse, which was stronger than it had been in days. Dr. Miller looked at Lila with a mixture of gratitude and humility. He cleared his throat. I don't know how, but thank you," he said softly to the child. Lila offered him a shy smile and kept holding William's hand. In the days that followed, William's recovery stunned the staff. His condition improved so much that doctors were able to perform a life-saving procedure. 2 weeks later, William was well enough to leave the hospital. Before he departed, He knelt down to meet Lila's eyes. "I believe I owe you something," he said warmly. From his pocket, William pulled out a check and pressed it into Marcia's hands. It was made out for $1 million. Marcia gasped, eyes filling with tears. William gently squeezed her hand. "Your daughter is an angel," he said earnestly, voice trembling with gratitude. "I can never repay what she gave me," William said, voice thick. "But I do keep my promises." Lila didn't need to see the number on the paper to understand. She threw her arms around William in a big hug. He smiled, hugging her back despite the ache in his healing chest. Dr. Miller and Camilla looked on, both grinning. The once skeptical doctor had a new respect for the power of the compassion he'd witnessed. He even apologized to Camilla for not listening to her ideas sooner. Camilla just patted his arm and said, "I think we all learned something." As William finally waved goodbye, he knew he had gained far more than he'd given. He'd been granted a second chance, and it came not from money or medicine, but from the quiet strength of a little girl's love and hope. If this story touched your heart, subscribe for more heartwarming stories.